Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. So this morning while I was meditating on Genesis 11 from verses 1 to 9, I was so glued to how connected the story of the Tower of Babel is to what's happening today. Although these people were connected by their humanity, unity, and determination, it was the underlying motives that brought them down. The whole world spoke one language, and a group of them decided to build a city with a tower that reaches the heavens. So they wanted to make a name for themselves and stick together. Great, right? But as I was imagining the scene in my head, it stuck to me how determined they were to achieve something big without involving God. It's as if they said, we've got one language and a great plan, but who needs God, right? However, God, who sees the heart of a man, saw what they were doing and understood their hearts. Although they were united, their unity was fueled with pride and ambition to promote themselves rather than to promote God. So, God intervened in a surprising way. He confused their languages. Well, their language, because it was one. And one moment everyone was working, just imagine, one moment everyone is working together smoothly, speaking one language, and then the next you can't understand each other at all. Just imagine asking for a break and somebody suddenly speaks something that you don't understand. So as I reflected on this, I realized there's a personal message for me, and maybe for you too, in this scripture. How often do we start building our own towers in our own lives? Maybe it's a project, maybe it's a career, relationship, a degree, kids, school, marriage, whatever it is, with the goal of proving to ourselves or securing in a future that we don't even know of, securing a future on our own terms. I have been guilty of making plans without praying, essentially saying, I've got this, God, I got this, I can do this by myself. So many times I did that. So the story of Babel gently reminds me that leaving God out of my plans, it doesn't matter big or small, can lead to confusion and frustration. Guys, it's not that God doesn't want us to achieve great things, but we can have all the power we want. Besides, the power is in us, so we are powerful. We can be as wealthy because guess what? He's the wealthiest. He created the wealth, so we can have all the wealth we want. But without him, it just doesn't work. And if it's done out of cruelty, with the agenda of destroying other people, it just doesn't work. See, God cares about how and why we pursue things. The people of Babel were building for their own glory, not for God's. And that was a big problem. So if what we are building is destroying those who are around us, God won't allow it, and it eventually will come down. So I find it comforting and humbling that God sometimes steps in to save us from ourselves. When our plans fall apart or communication breaks down, it might be God urging us to pause and check our motives, check our hearts. So I ask myself, or ask yourself, are we doing this for the right reasons? Is God part of this project, or am I building, or are we building our lives all by ourselves without including God? So guys, have you ever had a goal that just wasn't working? Like, no matter what you did, how much effort you put, it was just not coming through. If you have had those, you know that maybe it's time for another opportunity, time for change, time for growth, or to do something different. But in order for you to do something different, you have to go back to the one who sent you, right? Which is pray about it and wait to hear for new direction. So it might even be that he has something better in mind, or he wants to reshape our plans into one that truly benefits you and those who are around us. The thought that came to me is how God values a unity that honors him. Like later in the Bible, in Acts 2, that story of the Pentecost, where people of many languages miraculously understood the apostles' message, God enabled communication in that case to bring those people together in truth. So it's like the opposite of Babel. This comparison shows me that God isn't against us at all, but He wants us to work together, to aim higher. He loves it. He loves it when we unite for good and for His glory. The problem, just like at Babel, was the motive and the exclusion of God, not the teamwork itself. Takeaway for us, well, for me, is a reminder to invite God into every plan. Whether I'm literally building something or just setting a personal goal, I want to do it with humility and prayer instead of pride. So when we partner with God, our projects won't end in aimless babbling. They will bring meaningful and fruitful outcome. If you are also in a season where things feel confusing and scattered, don't be discouraged. It might be time to realign with God's purpose. Take a moment to pray. Ask God His perspective. Ask Him why He's allowing whatever is happening around you to happen. And allow Him to speak to you. And you have to be available to hear what He is saying in that situation. I am learning that when God is at the center, even our biggest plans stay grounded and our unity with others becomes a blessing. Just because somebody or someone is different than you, they do different things, or they don't have a degree, or they have a degree, or they, whatever it is, they are from the ghetto or they are from the suburbs, that doesn't matter in God's eyes. We just have to learn to walk in humility and in love and unity in one accord with each other.
But eating like
So thank you guys for always coming to my channel to check me out, and let's just remember that God's love always guides us, even when it means he temporarily scatters our plans, because he's leading us back to him. So stay encouraged and let's keep building lives that point to heaven with God's help, rather than trying to reach heaven by our own strength. So you have a wonderful week. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye. That is so cute.